Somebody asked some time ago about how I go about bending evergreen styrene plastic rod, and I generally just use a round object, in this case these pliers here, which you can get at any tool store. And I just start with a little bit larger diameter, and I just grip it lightly and I just roll it gently, slowly, gently. Like that. Just work it some more, work it some more, work it down tighter to a tighter diameter slowly. If you go too quick, like if you're too quick about it or anxious about it, this is what'll happen, right? I mean, a larger diameter is usually pretty good. This plastic's fairly soft, so it's fairly forgiving. If you try to bend it too tight right off the bat, that's what happens. But if you're a little bit larger diameter than you need, and then just work it slow. When it warms up in your fingers, it actually gets a little bit softer too. That's why I like evergreen plastic. It has a really nice softness to it. You can bend parts easily. Okay. Okay, so I just want to talk about the railing for a second here. So I made these out of brass. This is out of 5.5 mil, which is this right here, K&S, 0.5 millimeter, number 9860. And the reason why I did it in brass was because, you know, it'll probably get bumped. So plastic looks good and it works good as well, but if it's going to be subject to movement quite a bit, as this one will be at first, you know, when it gets pulled in and out and just, you know, for the purposes of production and so on, it needs to be able to take a few bumps. So, and what I do is I sand the brass just like I do with plastic. I sand it down, just stroke it a couple of times, and when you put a tiny bead of flux and just touch it with a soldering iron with a wet tip solder, and it'll just wick in nice and you're done. So I'll run another piece in here, probably across to here, and I could run another centerpiece here too, but not always, but we'll see. And then I'll just nibble off the bottom and she's good to go. Okay, so I want to show you how I solder railings. Okay, it's a very delicate operation. Some people are afraid to do it. It's really not that difficult if you take your time and you set things up right. So I already soldered these two here. Now you can see that I drilled the brass rod through the plastic, right? Like I drilled through the plastic and I slipped the 0.5 mil rod so it holds it in place. Okay, and then I got these heat sinks or clips here, which I really don't need because you only need to just touch the solder for a second, and I'll show you how to do that, and I'll show you what's really important first. Okay, so remember how I said, so you sand the brass so it's rough, like you sand the shininess off it. Okay, and you need to use flux. Okay, so what you do is you take your paste or your flux and you just melt a bit first like this. Okay, just get it liquidy and then dip your brush in and then dip it onto your piece like that. See, just like that, right? Okay, so now it's on there. See that? Okay, so then what you do is you touch your pencil in there like this, and then just tin it with a bit of solder like that. Okay, and just tap it. so there's any excess solder there. Then just grab your piece. Okay, I'm going to pull it into here. Can you see that? It's a very difficult, tight quarters here, and then just touch and let go. Okay? Clean the tip again. Okay, so as you can see there, it's just a beautiful hard solder. See that? So then what you do next is you come in here with isopropyl alcohol, okay, 99%, all right, and you just clean that flux off, okay? You just brush it off, work it off with a bit of alcohol. It comes off. Alcohol's not going to hurt the model. Okay, and there you go.